Have a nice day. Today is Thursday, 15th of February 2024. This day is celebrated as Singles Awareness Day or Singles Appreciation Day, celebrated on the 15th of February each year. It is an unofficial holiday celebrated by single people. From the history point of view, in 2022, the government of Bihar recognized 15th February as Martyrs Day, Shahid Divas, in the memory of 34 freedom fighters killed by the Indian Imperial Police in Tarapur during hosting Indian flag on 15th of February 1932. Starting the newspaper analyst with the newspaper The Hindu states that France Ukraine to sign security deal soon. French foreign minister says France Ukraine are soon likely to sign a bilateral agreement on security commitments. French foreign minister Stéphane Séjourné said on Wednesday. French President Emmanuel Macron was expected to finalize the security deal in Ukraine this month, but he postponed the trip for security reasons. French Foreign and European Affairs Minister Stéphane Séjourné. The Hindu newspaper also states that one dead, 21 injured in Super Bowl parade shooting. Minutes after Kansas City Chiefs players vowed to go for a third straight Super Bowl title, there was a shooting following the speech that ended with a victory parade. An injured person is aided by the first responders near the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl LV third victory parade on February 14, 2024 in Kansas City, Missouri. Shots were reportedly fired during the parade, according to the police. 8 children were among 22 people hit by the gunfire in a shooting at the end of the Wednesday's parade to celebrate the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl win. Authorities said as the terrified fans ran for cover, and yet another high-profile public event was marred by gun violence. One person was killed. The Hindu newspaper also states that Press Club urges government to revoke order against the Karwan magazine. The Karwan reported on an important story, and the people of this country have the right to know, the Press Club of India said. The URL of the story, titled Screams from the Army Post, has been taken down because of the ministry as an order issued under Section 69A of the Information Technology Act and the Information Technology Act Intermediary Guidelines and a Digital Media Ethics Code rules, the Press Club of India said. The Press Club of India (PCI) on Wednesday expressed concern over the Information and Broadcasting Ministry's direction to the title Karwan magazine take down a story on the army's alleged torture and murder of civilians in Jammu. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that farmer leaders to hold talks with the centre today. Protesters still at border. Sarwan Singh Pandhar, coordinator of the Kisan Mazdoor Morcha, and Jagjit Singh Daliwal, president of Bharatiya Kisan Union, Ekta Sidhpur, said they asked the protesters at the Shambhu border whether they should press on towards Delhi or return to the table for talks. It was on January 2nd that the first announced or Delhi Chalo protest plan. We sought a place of protest at Jantar Mantar, but nobody got back to us, he said. Indian Express also stated that Supreme Court to deliver verdict on validity of electoral bond scheme today. The scheme was announced in 2017 Union Budget speech when late Arun Jaitley was finance minister. Electoral bonds are interest-free bearer instruments that are essentially used to donate money anonymously to political parties. According to the notification, electoral bonds shall be encashed by an eligible political party only through an account with an authorized bank. Indian Express also states that accessible India can Mughal history inspire modern inclusion. If a city built in 1569 AD can be made wheelchair accessible, why not our public spaces? As my wheelchair was unloaded from the car at Fatehpur Sikri, a monument dating back to the 16th century AD, a familiar uncertainty crept in. Would I have access to it and the ability to accompany my family and other tourists? It is evident that our country has miles to go before a genuine inclusivity can be celebrated. The heterogeneity of disability poses a significant challenge. My skepticism was justified, as even places advertised as accessible in our country often present various hurdles to the displayed community, from the bathrooms without grab bars or passport to ramps with slopes so steep that handling a wheelchair without a considerable help becomes impossible. The international standard for a ramp slope 1 is to 12 height to the length ratio is consistently overlooked. My brother valiantly offered to demonstrate how to climb a steep ramp safely in my motorized wheelchair at our hotel. In the process, the wheelchair tipped backwards, resulting in his head hitting the unforgiving stone floor. It is evident that the country has miles to go before its genuine inclusivity can be celebrated. The heterogeneity of disability poses a significant challenge. Still, rather than wishing the issue away, it would be advisable to begin by focusing on a single pillar of accessibility at a time. If addressing all simultaneously is too overwhelming, in pursuing true accessibility of any of the three pillars involving multiple end users, those stakeholders benefiting from the accommodation would go a long way in determining its success. After all, irrespective of one's socio-economic status or ability, every Indian deserves the freedom to experience our country's rich history and heritage, along with the rights accorded to all citizens. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that mob targets armories in strife torn Manipur once shot dead by forces. Security forces in Imphal. Two armories of the Manipur police were targeted by mobs in the Imphal East district of the state Manipur on Tuesday night, prompting the security forces to open fire on the crowd, resulting in the death of at least one man. Officers aware of the matter said on Wednesday. Hindustan Times also states that Kovind led a panel holds talks with the economists or research on electoral cycle. The meeting was attended by the top economists. New Delhi former President Ramnath Kovind led a high-level committee on One Nation, One Election on Wednesday, held deliberations with the top economists on the details of research paper, macroeconomic impact of harmonizing electoral cycles on the subject, attracting mixed reactions from the experts on holding simultaneous polls. People aware of the matter said. Going towards the economy of the country from the banking and finance point of view, Reserve Bank of India's governor asks bank chiefs to be vigilant against a risk build-up. Thus made this observation at a meeting with the MDs and CEOs of PSU banks and select private sector banks. Governor in his remarks complimented the banks on their improved financial performance and that of the whole banking sector. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das on Wednesday asked the banks to remain vigilant against build-up of risks in the banking system, as there is no scope for any complicancy. Thus highlighted the issue of relating to business model viability, outlier growth in a personal loan, adherence to co-lending guidelines, bank exposure to NBFC sector, liquidity risk management, IT and cybersecurity preparedness, operational resilience, digital frauds, and strengthening of the internal rating framework. Red Sea crisis, India's petroleum exports to Europe and Nocidio to 18-month low in January. India's diesel exports to Europe, which had touched a record high of over 287,000 barrels per day (BPD) in December 2023, crashed to around 40,000 BPD barrels per day in January. Consequently, India's petroleum product exports to Europe in January fell almost 70% from the December to around 111,500 BPD, the lowest since July 2022. India's petroleum product exports to Europe noced with to an 18-month low in January 2024. With the tankers hauling fuel, mainly diesel, avoiding the Suez Canal route in view of the security concerns in the Red Sea region. Stock market live. Sensex Nifty witness sharp recovery. OMC's trade higher. Stock market today live updates. After the positive streak, Indian benchmark indices Sensex and Nifty are trading in the negative territory on Wednesday. This comes as several prominent economies, including India, continue to report their inflation numbers. Stock market today live. Sensex and Nifty open in red. India faces World Trade Organization pressure on farm subsidies and amid protesters for minimum support price. The Cairns group, comprising Australia, Brazil, and Canada, among the other members, have claimed that India's public stock holding (PSHR) program is highly subsidized, and the farm support that India gives is distorting global food prices and hurting food security of other countries. In order to disperse farmers, the Haryana police first used tear gas shells, followed by the water cannons and rubber bullets. Going out of the world news, including Chief Super Bowl parade shooting, one killed, 8 children among 22 hit by gunfire. Russia agrees to pay a compensation for the Nepalese killed in a fight in Ukraine. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates Abu Dhabi's first Hindu stone temple, describes it as a symbol of shared heritage of humanity. Defense Minister Subianto claims victory in Indonesia's presidential election based on early tallies. Indian origin couple even is found dead in United States home. Police suspect murder suicide. Indonesia elections 2024. All you need to know. Going towards the science and technology, SpaceX to bring down 100-old Starlink satellite to keep space safe, sustainable. SpaceX plans to deorbit 100 additional Starlink satellites out of 6,000 already launched to stop them from turning into the space junk. Elon Musk's led SpaceX on Tuesday said it will deorbit 100 early version of one Starlink satellites as a part of its efforts to keep space safe. 16 Starlink satellites stacked together before deployment on the May 24, 2019. 1700-year-old Roman egg found in fascinating discovery is not empty. A nearly 2 millennia old Roman egg found in 2010 was discovered to still contain liquid inside it. This egg was discovered in 2010 along with the 4 others. Are we about to find out the moon's origin? Japan's space agency says it may now have clues. The spacecraft had landed about 55 meters, 60 yards away from its target near the Scioli, a crater, a region covered in volcanic rocks. SLIM, which landed on the moon last month, has used its multi-band spectral camera to study rock composition. Mushroom growing on a frog in India baffles scientists. Scientists are baffled by frog that was discovered in India, which seems to have mushroom growing out of its side. This could be the first time that mushroom has been seen growing on the flank of a frog. At last, there is a famous quotation said by Mirza Beg Asadullah Khan, whose birth anniversary is 1797 up to 1869. Also known as Mirza Ghalib, was an Indian poet. He was popularly known by the pen names Ghalib and Asad. His honorific was Dabirul Mulk Najmud-Dawla. During his lifetime, the already declining Mughal Empire was eclipsed and displaced by the British East India Company rule and finally deposed following the defeat of the Indian Rebellion of 1857. These are described through his work. Mirza Ghalib wrote in both Urdu and Persian, although his Persian Diwan body of work is at least 5 times longer than Urdu Diwan. His fame rests on his poetry in Urdu. Today, Ghalib remains popular not only in the Indian subcontinent but also among the Hindustani diaspora around the world. Mr. Ghalib says a famous quotation. He says that if man gets used to afflictions, afflictions don't matter any further. So many difficulties did I suffer, they became easy for me to sustain. Ghalib makes a keen comment on man's infinite capacity to bear pain. While he makes a statement in the first line, he artfully exemplifies it in the second by bringing 2 opposed words in a good embrace. Okay, thank you.